Young, inexperienced engineers aiding Elon Musk's government takeover. Engineers between 19 and 24, most linked to Musk's companies, are playing a key role as he seizes control of federal infrastructure. I think that most of the time people that are competent in one thing are
No, he's not about to do that. He's not about to say the fallacy and pretend it's real, right? No shot is he about to do the thing that I say is like one of the biggest problems we have, is that people gain competency in one area and they actually think that they're magically competent in every area. No way is he about to say this. He's not gonna say that. He's not gonna say that.
I think that most of the time people that are competent in one thing are probably going to be competent in a lot of other things too.
They shouldn't have access to it, period. Number one. Number two, it's not up to them to figure out what's being spent or what's not being spent. That's not their job. U.S. state security leaders removed after refusing Elon Musk's Doge employees access to secure systems. The USAID systems the Doge team tried to access included personnel files and security systems, including classified systems beyond the security level of at least some of the Doge employees, according to 3 of the sources. The systems also included security clearance information for agency employees, 2 of the sources said. So in the United States, all classified stuff is need to know. Just because, like, you could have a TS, like a top secret clearance, but that doesn't mean that you just get to read every single secret, top secret document in the US government. That's not how that works. So even if you have a secret, like you know how like in movies they're like, this is a classified area, you're like, oh, I'm top secret classified. It's like, oh, okay, fuck, you're allowed in. That's not how that works. All of it is done on need to know. I think that's what SCI stands for, is secured compartmentalized information. What does SCI stand for? Oh, sensitive compartmented information. My bad. Nonprofits and state agencies still like access Monday to EPA grant awards funded through the Inflation Reduction Act. Nice. 2 district court judges have issued orders to reverse such spending freezes, with U.S. District Judge Lauren Ali Khan reinforcing her order Monday. That quote, sorry. It appears that OMB sought to overcome a judicially imposed obstacle without actually ceasing the challenged conduct. The court can think of few things more disingenuous, wrote the judge. Zealand Hoover, former director of implementation at Biden's EPA, said the Trump admin appear to be trying to dodge the temporary restraining order. I'm very concerned that this illegal action will force state and local governments to pause construction, lay off staff, and slow their work to provide cleaner air and water. It looks like this executive is considering just completely flouting a court's direct order. Nice. Trying to dodge the restraining order. True. Breaking New York Times. The CIA sent the Trump White House an unclassified email listing. An unclassified email listing all employees hired by the spy agency over the last 2 years to comply with an executive order to shrink the federal workforce, in a move that former officials say risked the list leaking to adversaries. An unclassified email. Jeez. I mean, you can retroactively classify it, but... The list included first names and the first initial of the last name of the new hires who are still on probation and less easy to dismiss. It included a large crop of young analysts and operatives who are hired specifically to focus on China, and whose identities are usually closely guarded because Chinese hackers are constantly seeking to ID them. The agency normally would prefer not to put these names in an unclassified system. Some former officials said they worried that the list could be passed on to a team of newly hired young software experts working with Elon Musk and his government efficiency team. If that happened, the names of the employees might be more easily targeted by China, Russia, or other foreign intelligence services. Bro, 2026 and 2028 are going to be wild. I can never take a conservative complaining about literally anything ever again.
They're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And
by the way, this is actually true.
Oh god.
They're putting like 19 to 22-year-old like 4chan users.
It's epic though. Oh, it's epic. Oh.
Charge of the federal government. That's right. Yep.
And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise Elon has. I mean, this guy is one.
It's funny because didn't people use these same arguments to say not to vote for her whenever she first ran for office because she was so young?
Most.
Firstly, wasn't she so young at was she 29 when she was elected? Number one. Number two, it's still winning an election. It's not about her just randomly waltzing into a office and doing, random shit without authorization. It's running for an election. What an unreal, stupid point. I feel like Asmongold pre-watches, and then I think he's a really smart dude, and I think he has really good political instincts, because you can't miss that much. He has to intend for it. It would be like a true-false test where a student turns in a 50-question test and they get every single question wrong. And you're like, oh, fuck, you must be really smart. And the student's like, no, look, I failed. No, you got every single question wrong. If you were guessing, it would have been 50-50. But if you got every question wrong, you must know all the right answers. Asmongold says consistently the most retarded shit ever. So he must know what's not retarded, right? I think logically that follows.
Morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of.
Yeah, we don't.
But the point is that
what was that?
That Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of.
Right.
Is he going to make some comment about how she doesn't know everything about these systems, or where is he possibly going to go with this?
But the point is,
it's a big meaning.
That what that means is that they're going to hit a button.
Yeah.
Inevitably, they are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
Yep, that's what people voted for. And so anyway, there's been a lot of...
I'm sorry, you can't vote for illegal things. If Donald Trump says, vote for me, and I'm going to murder 20 top laners in League of Legends, you can't... that doesn't matter if people voted for it. What are you that's not how that works. We voted for Donald Trump to be president, so he gets all the roles and responsibilities and everything as president, but that doesn't mean that people can just do illegal shit or crazy shit.
A lot of people that are criticizing young, inexperienced engineers aiding Elon Musk's government takeover. Engineers between 19 and 24, most linked to Musk's companies, are playing a key role as he seizes control of federal infrastructure. And so you have a bunch of these random guys. Yes, these right here are these are the four horsemen of the fat, retarded federal government worker apocalypse. And they've been having a really bad time. They brought in the 4chan users, they brought in the gamers, and it's been bad for them. And so anyway, here's one of the people that they think is a stupid person who doesn't know anything, and who is this guy? Why would you put this guy in charge of anything? Here's a video about one of them, okay?
All right, pause. At the risk of sounding like a total idiot, let's guess. Option one. Is this video actually going to show that this guy's like, I have a dual degree in computer science and political science. I actually have a great interest in government systems, and I have a great interest in government systems, and I actually know quite a bit about how these, departments work, and that's why I'm helping Elon Musk out of them? Or is it going to be, I am actually a really talented computer programmer. Here's my AI project, LLM and Deep Seek, and I worked on this, and because of that, I know everything. Which one is it going to be? I hope I look like an idiot and it's going to be number one, and this guy does understand government. Or is he just going to be some random software dev who, I actually the cloud and AI and algorithms and AI. Oh my God, he goes to University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Wow.
So I've always been interested in history. Growing up, I learned Latin.
Oh my God, I might be wrong. He's going to be a political background. He's going to have a politics background. That doesn't, hold on. Even if he does, that still doesn't qualify him to audit government servers or to illegally fucking enter these buildings and do shit, to be clear. But
I was never that good at it, but I was always kind of into that sort of stuff, read a lot about the Roman Empire and things. And one day I was just
wow, Roman Empire, eyebrow raise.
listening to a podcast back in March. It was with Nat Friedman. He just kind of got on the podcast, explained like there are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them, but some professors have created CT scans of these scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition.
Oh my God, never mind. It's going to be AI, isn't it? It's coming. It's going to be AI. That's like cheating to guess, though. It's going to be AI. I downloaded the scrolls and I put them through an LLM AI cloud, and it was able to translate them using AI and LLM and
See
AI.
who could find writing inside of these scrolls. Yeah. And when I heard that, I was just immediately like, oh my goodness, this is such a cool project.
You can see why they're worried.
What? Because they went through the deep sea scrolls of government servers? What?
This guy won the grand prize for deciphering scrolls that got destroyed by a volcano. And these people actually have the arrogance to think that he can't figure out a federal government ledger.
That's... Okay. Good one.
Work on this. I just went home from work that day at the end of the day, and I've been working on it evenings and weekends ever since. I run most of the things from my laptop. It's just a normal MacBook, don't worry. But then I've just got like 5 surplus computers in here. This is what I do most of my work from.
Wow, nice airflow, retard. Also, that's only one computer, dipshit. Got him.
The Rake School and just the University of Nebraska as a whole has provided a great educational background where I can then, take these skills that I've learned and apply them to problems like this.
2 unrelated things.
Oh, true! Who said that? They're getting banned in chat. Uh-oh, he's about to get Hassaned.
Them to problems like this.
2 unrelated things. No. I think that most of the time people that are competent in one thing are probably...
No! He's not about to do that. He's not about to say the fallacy and pretend it's real, right? No shot is he about to do the thing that I say is like one of the biggest problems we have, is that people getting competency in one area and they actually think that they're magically competent in every area. No way is he about to say this. He's not gonna say that. He's not gonna say that.
I think that most of the time people that are competent in one thing are probably going to be competent in a lot of other things too.
What an unbelievably arrogant, fallacious statement. Kill me. Please kill me. No shot. No shot.
And one thing I've learned, so like we had this in like, so this is one issue that like we had in like WoW guilds.
In WoW, you should know that. Yeah. So in WoW, I wanted to go in raid for epic mythic gear. Is that it? So I grabbed all of my friends who were really good PvPers, really good arena guys, and then we raided. And because they're good at arena, they automatically were good at raids, and then we won everything. And then like even in video games, this is not true. This is retarded.
Is that like we had people that were like really bad tanks or really bad healers, and we thought like, oh, we'll just swap them to another role. And then they'll get better, right?
What? This is not... Stop! Okay, I now no longer believe anybody that said that Asmon was a raid leader or any bullshitter. I don't believe this. No shot. This is retarded. What?
And they'll just be better at this other role? No, it turns out some people are just retarded. They're just bad. And it doesn't matter what role you put them in, they're going to be garbage. And then there's other people that... It doesn't matter what role that you put them in, they're going to be the top performer in that role.
I just spend hours upon hours staring at flattened pieces of the scroll.
What the fuck is that keyboard?
Like, within the narrow purview of World of Warcraft, and in the narrow purview of like raiding, that might be true. But let's say you take somebody who's a really good tank and a really good DPS and a really good healer. Are they going to be... double what I don't know what the fuck the timers are. Are they going to be like a fucking world champion CS:GO player? No. What? If they're a gamer, they might be above average, sure, but they would still have to train a ton. And there's no guarantee that like how many people are multidisciplinary professional level players? It's very, 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 very rare that ever happens. Generally, if it crosses between anything, it'll be in the same genre, but that'll be it. And besides Elon Musk, I'm sorry. Besides Elon Musk.
I just spend hours upon hours staring at flattened pieces of
What the fuck
scroll,
is that
like,
keyboard? This is he's an art enjoyer. This is a piece of art. It's one of the most famous pieces of Japanese art. It's called The Big Wave by Hakusai. The guy also drew hentai in like the 1500s or something like that.
Kind of like how Asmongold is such a successful streamer, so he's also good at keeping his house clean. What? True.
And the back of it is Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh.
this, trying to find these patterns, which
one
are
of the impressionist painters.
part of the writing. At the start of the challenge, we had not been able to find any writing at all.
Despite this is totally a fallacy and dumb, but some people can get better faster than others, especially in science-adjacent fields. Don't ban me. You are banned. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm a believer in IQ. I'm a believer in G. I think that if you are a very, 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 very talented computer programmer, I do think that you probably have an aptitude that you can become more talented in other areas as well. I do agree with that conceptually, but holy f***, if you haven't done the work, then you won't be. If anything, you'd be worse. Anybody that's ever trained somebody before, you'd rather start with somebody who's at nothing than some dipshit that's learned incorrectly, right? And if you go into some field thinking automatically that you're some expert because you're decently smart or even extremely smart in another field, you're in for a bad time. You're in for a bad time.
Within these scrolls, there are hundreds of these.
So what the f is the keyboard? That's it.
We've scanned a couple of them.
I don't know how true this is. This is a Twitter headline that I read earlier that some Elon Musk programmer retard was going through and trying to rewrite all of like the mainframe code that's all done in like COBOL or whatever. He's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and rewrite all this shit, all this software that's been running without significant issues for 2 decades. This guy's gonna rewrite it in Python, in Node.js. I don't know, whatever memes you got. Jesus.
Scrolls. There are hundreds of these.
So what the fuck is the keyboard? That's it.
We've scanned a couple of them, and no one had been able to find any writing in them using these methods. Late one Saturday night, I was sitting at a party at a friend's house in Omaha, and I get a text from another person on the challenge team, and he says, "Hey, I've just uploaded this new kind of piece of the scroll. You should take a look at it." I remotely access my computer. I type into it like, "Please run the algorithm on this new piece of scroll," and then I just kind of started. I pull out my phone again, just nonchalantly. Like,
wait, it is AI, isn't it? It was all AI. It was always AI.
On this new piece of scroll, and then I just kind of started. I pull out my phone again, just nonchalantly, like, "Hey, I wonder how that went." And there are 3 Greek letters on the screen, letters I'd never seen before. It was really.
This is the person that they think can't figure out how to read the federal government ledgers.
The problem isn't even that they can't figure it out, my dude. The problem is, one, they shouldn't have access to it, period. Number one. Number two, it's not up to them to figure out what's being spent or what's not being spent. That's not their job. It's the legislature's job to allocate the money to the executive, and then it's the executive's job to spend it. This isn't their job. None of this is even about, like, nobody has made the claim, or the claim is not, I don't want to say nobody's making dipshits out, but the claim isn't, these guys could never learn how to read code off of a computer drive. Like, that's not.
Yeah. This guy can't, it's impossible. You can never figure it out.
Cool, because it's like, oh my goodness, like, we actually detected new writing in the scrolls using AI. That was the moment I realized, like, this is actually going to work. Like, we're probably going to read
You
the
can
scrolls.
see why they're
and
worried.
I completely freaked out. My friends were there, and I was cheering, jumping up and down, you know, screaming, crying, all the stuff. I
would
took
be
a picture
worried
of the
too.
results, and I sent them to my mom, and she called me, and she's like, hey, these look great, you know? It was a really...
And it sucks for this guy, too, because, like, I'm sorry, let me fucking back up. I need to clarify fucking everything because you guys are all retarded, okay? This kid seems like a good kid. He seems cool. I mean, like, this is a cool idea. It's a cool application of AI. It's a cool the fact that he even had that interest in these old scrolls. Like, every single thing he's talking about in terms of his story here, this is actually really cool. And it's cool because it comes from my state, you, coming from Nebraska. So that's cool. I appreciate all of this. This is like a cool story. It's good. Everything he's doing here is cool and good. This has nothing to do with government shit. And now the fact that people are going to be defending or attacking this is like retarded.
Special moment. Yeah, so this is the word that I actually found. It's right here. It's the word prophoros, which translates to purple. It's the first word we found in the scrolls. It was reviewed by a committee of kind of Greek scholars, but it's the
Which,
word...
by the way, there's a lot of subtext to that. Purple is, in a lot of cultures, the last discovered color because of how infrequently it occurs in nature.
I thought you should say purple usually is the second to best tier of gear in rating, and I'm just kidding.
Sure. And so it implies that the culture that these scrolls were received in was very advanced. It was for rich people, yes. That's a very important letter, like of any word to have exists, purple was an important one.
purple. And I'm glad it's not the word
Yeah.
in or the or and that we found first. We actually found
royalty. Yep.
a word that has meaning.
They like
This would
snails
not be
for it at the
possible
beginning.
without modern AI and modern scanning techniques. People have wanted to read these books for hundreds of years, and this seems like the only way that's where it's really possible to do that. Now we're reading entire
Blue is the last, not purple. The whole water and sky and the firmament are blue, dipshit.
paragraphs from the scrolls.
Wow.
Hopefully we'll be able to read the entire book and read the
Wow.
hundreds of other
Look at that.
books that were buried in this condition as well. When we found this first word, we went public with it. And
Yeah.
I think everyone has been very pleasantly surprised by the amount of attention it's gotten. As a college student, it's definitely been overwhelming in the best way possible, but it's been really cool to get to kind of, talk about my findings and, share what I want to do in the future with so many people. So it's been overwhelming in the best possible way. The University of Nebraska does a really good job of encouraging.
How difficult do you think this was to achieve? I have no fucking idea. From my limited vibe-based feeling, AI is the same thing as is the same thing as the word like program, where someone could be like, oh, like I programmed a website, and that could mean that they're like a full stack dev that did some custom implementation of some database plus like front thing plus web hosting, or it could be a dude who went to fucking what's that website that auto does websites for you? And he's like, oh, I'm a programmer, right? And I feel like AI shit is the same, where people could be like, oh, like I built a model to do this. And that could just mean that they went to some model and they fed it some data and it's whatever. Or they could be doing like a whole bunch more deep work with a thing. If somebody says like work with AI, that doesn't mean anything to me. And I wouldn't immediately be impressed, I think. But I don't even know what would be required to be impressed. So fuck me, I just hate AI. Okay. But regardless, whether this kid did a ton of original work and a ton of like deep heavy lifting or not, it's still cool. This project is still cool. What he did was still cool, I think. Wix, that's what I was thinking of.
Their students to think boldly, and I think that's played a pivotal role in my work on this project.
So, we'll go back to the statement that she said. Let's go ahead and watch this again.
I think, not that this should ever happen, it would be horrible. If Asmongold got hit by a car and he was lying on the operating table and they're like, it's what do you call it's not compound fracture, the exposed fracture where it's like the bone is sticking out of the leg. I want this kid to come in. And I want to see what Asmon says. Well, the deep sea scrolls, my friend. What do you think is harder? Fucking bone surgery or translating the deep sea scrolls? He's a smart kid, okay? Let's give this motherfucker a scalpel and let him go to work.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Billionaires. This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which,
ooh, woman laughing. Whew, that's going to trigger the fuck out of his audience.
you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
AOC doesn't even know about the fucking deep sea scrolls. She's so dumb. She's so stupid. Unbelievable.
They're so cooked, and they know it.
Don't worry, I'm sure Hassan will go over this. I can't believe that they've teamed up on Twitch. That's so gross. What is this?
It's gonna be Palestine. Didn't expect that at all. But hey, it's a surprise for everybody, I think. So we're buying Gaza now? Yeah.
Oh, epic.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I'm glad at least Asmon is here to illustrate what I was saying before, is that we have this issue where liberals doom scroll and conservatives like epic scroll. Like every time Trump does something stupid, it's hilarious and epic and based. And meanwhile, if you actually give a fuck about the country, it's like, oh my God.
Wasn't planning on that. Didn't think that was gonna happen. Yeah.
Destiny, is it not a valid criticism that AOC doesn't actually know and is commenting? Doesn't know what? Doge shouldn't be looting our fucking federal offices. What do you mean? That's insane and stupid and crazy.
Yeah, that one wasn't on the bingo card, was it, boys? And yeah, this isn't funny. We got a tone policer in chat.
Is it true that if you play chess, you get better at the ability to do math because you're exercising the part of your brain that does it? I don't think that's true.
Go back to Reddit and write another fucking essay and make sure to take your medication, okay? We like having fun here. And if you like crying, then you're in the wrong place, okay? Unless we're talking about adding women into video games, and then you're in the right place. Okay? He doesn't want Gaza, he just wants everyone else to say no and pay for it themselves, so I don't know. And, yeah. No, I don't give a shit. People get mad about it or whatever. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna look at all this stuff and get into it, man. Absolutely. So, yeah. Anyway, so what if crying is fun? Well,
there's papers on chess and IQ correlation. It's interesting. I'm sure chess is probably a super G-loaded activity, for sure, obviously.
Then we're gonna have a little bit of fun, right? And so, go chill on Blue Sky. Yeah, go chill on Blue Sky. Did you see the price of eggs? I haven't been to the grocery store, like, since Trump was the president. Like, I haven't, like, the last time I went to the grocery store was, like 3 months ago, and I bought potatoes. That's it, I bought potatoes. Are you worried the U.S. will be on the bad side of history with this?
Anyone else find this very forced and cringe from Asmon? I mean, I guess this is just like, he's just like the anti-Hassan, basically. Except they both, like, orbit each other and are very careful to stay away from each other, so they can both coexist and...
This one, the bad side of history is the side that...
Stop saying G. Oh, G. IQ is hypothetically measuring, unless this is outdated. IQ is supposed to be a hypothetical measurement of G. Or no, IQ is supposed to be a measurement of G, which is hypothesized to exist as, like, general intelligence, I think. But I don't know if we actually believe that G exists. General intelligence factor? I have to follow this. Go find like race realists or whatever. These guys are obsessed with this shit.
Loses, and last time I checked, we have a lot of nuclear bombs. So I don't think that's gonna happen. Don't worry about it. But I do...
All recent studies suggest that you only get better in the specific tasks you practice, the same way that brain training games don't improve IQ, so playing chess only makes you better at chess. Yeah, that sounds right. I think most of the human body, even physically, the human body is incredibly, it's called training specificity or whatever to the particular activity. That's why when people say like, oh, like these guys are farmer strong and they can do hay bale things that the power lifters can't even do, even though the power lifter can deadlift, 400 pounds or 500 pounds or 700 pounds, but these guys with hay bales are fucking... Well, it's because they've trained specifically to do hay bale stuff. That's what they do all day. Your body responds incredibly specifically to specific types of training.
Do I think that Trump should do that? Fuck no, it's retarded. But no, that's it. That's what I think, right? I mean, it's really that simple. So, yeah, winners write the history. What a surprise.
What does Elon get out of this? Do you think he made a deal with Trump to get like a percentage of rate backs? No, it would never be that blatant. And I don't know. It's just access to all of our shit. Information is power, okay? It's just cringe.
The good guys always win history. That's it. I just sent your beef jerky, the post. I do not, so I will eventually do a P.O. Box stream on, like a stream, right? I will eventually do this, I promise. It just hasn't happened. That being said, I will never put anything in my body that I receive through the P.O. Box for any reason, under any circumstances.
Yeah, that was kind of retarded that I said that it wouldn't be blatant. At this point, who knows? Maybe it would be blatant. But... Okay, no more Asmon videos. This is the last one. Fuck me, dude.
They're so cooked, and they know it.
Oh, this was the follow-up from that video, or the after?
They are so cooked. Bro, they're bringing in the 4 horsemen of Discord. The 4 horsemen of 4chan. They're done. They actually go and think that they're going to somehow get around this. These guys used AI to figure out, or one of them used AI to figure out a Dead Sea Scroll, or not even Dead Sea Scroll, a scroll that was in like Pompeii after a fucking eruption of a volcano, and they're gonna try, and they're sitting there trying to hide the pride flags. Whenever
any chance you could debate Asmon? Asmongold, neither of these people will ever debate. They don't need to. It could only hurt them. It will never help them, and they're not engaged in any type of truth or like reporting. They're just here to tell a story for their audience. It doesn't make any sense. It would be like saying, do you want to go and debate Edward Norton on neo-Nazism or being in the KKK? And it's like, why? He's not going to defend that. It was a movie. American History X is not real life. These people are not, this is not real. It's just a performance for the audience.
Whenever they come in the building, oh, take them down. Oh, don't let them see this. Oh, no. Really? It's embarrassing, bro. It's sad. Yeah, you seriously don't understand their complaint? I understand it perfectly. That's why I know it's so stupid. See, all of these people think that they have this appeal to authority because they've worked at this place for a long period of time, so they think that they know what they're doing. How many times have we found out that most of the people that are experts in their fields are actually just people that have failed upward as a career for 25 years?
How do you think the entire country and everything, like you're connected to the internet playing video games made by people who are all supposedly experts, you're wearing clothes by company owners and manufacturers who know how to do, like there's a billion different things that experts have been involved in for research and development that are going right in order for you to even do what you do. And you're just going to assume the vast majority of experts are unqualified dipshits? Like there are unqualified dipshits, for sure. Absolutely. But you think that's the majority of them?
I think it's pretty often. And so anyway, yep, there you go. And yeah, always remember the old saying about government, those that can do, those who can't teach, those who can't do or teach work for the government. Yeah, I guess so. And it's a ridiculous complaint from people who are even less competent than average people. Exactly.
Destiny genuinely believes in the super competent government worker. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, cool. And I see that you're an 18-year-old who genuinely believes in the super competent private worker. Good luck when you actually enter the workforce, dipshit. Or you might actually already be part of the workforce and you are one of those retarded private workers, but you think that you're not.
I don't understand her complaint. Absolutely not. So this isn't considered DEI? I don't... Am I missing something? Look at this. Alexander Hamilton, 21. James Madison, 25. Man, that's crazy, huh? Wow, who said that? I know. Bro, some chatters, man, they look old for their age. Well,
what about Benjamin Franklin? Wasn't that guy like 70? You think they were all young people? I mean, they were older people as well. I mean, like what?
Probably photos, you know, or like portraits taken of them way later on. But yeah. And bro, people only lived to 35 back then? Yeah, bro, yeah, he's like 50 at this point, right? And so anyway, so there you go.
How old was Hamilton when he was writing the Federalist Papers, actually? When was Hamilton born? Ratify first U.S. Constitution. When were the Federalist Papers written? Federalist Papers written between 87 and 88. So he would have been 32 when writing those? When are these ages even taken from?
You go. And so I just wanted to show you guys that. Not lie, that may have been the dumbest thing ever said on stream. Yeah. Back when the average age was like 32. So, like, people were saying about the average age and everything. Nobody's actually meaning that. Like, so, like, did people, like, get smarter faster? Like, that's not how it works, right? Yeah. Oh, anyway, her complaint is that an unqualified person was put in charge by a man who doesn't have legal authority to do so. Well, if Trump's doing it, if they want to try to contest it legally, they can go ahead and do that. But I'll tell you one thing. I totally support them. And I think that a lot of the people that voted...
Okay, fuck you. Oh, I remember debating this guy. He was almost on a Bridges episode. Oh, no. He's going to say whatever he can to carry as much water for Trump as possible, and Doji and everything else.
Elon Musk the right to have access to the federal payment system of the Treasury Department.
President Trump won a historic victory. He's allowed to put...
It wasn't that big of a victory. Did Donald Trump give Elon Musk...
Yes or no? Did he win? Yes
or no?
He
won, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah, at least, well, I'm able to admit that. I don't know about your side.
Wait, who's the guy filming right now? We recognize his voice, right? Do we?
But let me ask you this, James. James, did Donald Trump give Elon Musk permission to send people into the Treasury Department to get access to the federal payment system? Yes or no?
My understanding is that the people of this country want to know what is happening with taxpayer money.
That's not an answer to the question.
What do you mean? What? It's all public. Aren't all the allocations public information? Like you can see how much Congress is allocating to public, like to USAID. Maybe not like line by line, but.
Single person in this country.
Wasn't this the smug guy that was in the Circle Jerk Jubilee episode? Yes.
Deserves to know how their taxpayer.
So James, you're a spokesperson for Doge, and you can't.
Spokesperson for Doge.
Or you're a spokesperson for Elon Musk.
Look, Katie Miller speaks for Doge in an external capacity, in a formal capacity.
But you work for Doge.
I am an advisor to Doge. I was there with Vivek Ramaswamy.
Destiny, USAID line by line was publicly accessible before Trump got in office. What was it?
He stepped aside to run for governor of Ohio. He's going to do a great job of that.
So are you with Doge or are you not with Doge?
I'm here to answer your questions about what's happening here. Taxpayers want answers.
But I asked the question, who gave Elon Musk access to the federal payment system?
Single moms have questions about how their taxpayer
All right, so you can't answer.
Did you say single moms?
Access to the federal payment system.
Single moms have questions about how their taxpayer.
All right, so you can't answer.
Okay. Just for fun, here's a tweet from the Epic Scroll guy. How do I open PDF? Well, Tech Bros explained to me how the cracked Doge kids are super duper smart for ending the direct file system. Other LLMs made specifically for parsing things like documents, forms, PDFs, JSON, HTML, Excel, etc., and converting them from one format to another. Well, is this necessarily a bad question? I don't know. Is it? I don't know how any of these things work. It might be that like an LLM only, or certain types only want specifically formatted files or aren't capable of parsing. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. There are programs that do that for you. You don't need an LLM for that. Okay, I have no idea. Don't know. Jason, the USAID database was public until your buddy Elon and the current admin took it offline. Publish the USAID database. Pause all payments for 100 days. Every single transaction under the microscope. Let the Daily Wire, New York Times, and everyone in between into the offices to see where the money has been flowing. The country's on the brink of insolvency. What? Sunlight on all spending until the budget is balanced. Okay. Destiny, I saw a report that only some of the Doge employees accessing the USAID classified documents lacked security clearance. If you access a building and only some of your group lack the clearance, can none of you access the info? I seriously doubt that anybody, link me the report, I doubt any of them had the clearance to access that information. I use a private server for email. I'm extracting every student's personal info into my private server. Yeah, they never cared about this. Don't forget that. They never cared about the private server shit. That was always a f***ing meme.